We see food. We eat food. But how much do we actually know about the food that we eat? So, we walked around Ateneo and asked students, what's the last thing you ate today? And would you know if it was processed or not?
Do you know if this food is processed or not?
The truth? It's more processed than you think.
Hello, I am here with...
Vinci.
And what is your course, Vinci?
I'm 1B SME.
So, Vinci, today I'm gonna ask you a question. So, what did you eat today?
The last thing that I ate for lunch was salpicao and rice.
So, do you know if this food is processed or not?
I'm pretty confident that it's not processed because the beef, it came from Margaret's farm. I'm pretty sure that they come from real cows, doesn't go to the factory.
So actually, Vinci, let me clarify some things. The food that you've eaten, in some way or another, has been processed. So, yeah, exactly. So what you're thinking about is ultra-processed food. So ultra-processed foods, those are the ones that have been like industrially processed or, have like additives, right? But your food, Vinci, the beef salpicao that you mentioned, has still been processed in a form known as cutting and cooking. So those are actually still processed methods. But in this case, this falls more so under processed foods or minimally processed foods. This is what this video is about. What exactly is processed food? This term may sound daunting, but it really only refers to food that has gone through any type of change. This is so important to discuss, especially with the amount of processed foods and additives that we consume on a daily basis. Health is not something that we should take for granted, and in this video, our group plans to help clear any misconceptions regarding processed foods and dive into the specifics of food additives. You see, there are 4 main classifications of processed foods. A group of scientists, Montero et al., describes these as 1. Minimally or unprocessed foods, 2. Processed culinary ingredients, 3. Processed foods, and number 4. Ultra-processed food and drink products. Hello everyone, I am with
Rob. I'm from ME.
Which among these foods do you think is processed? We have instant noodles, pizza, chips, cereal, and tinned vegetables.
I think they're all processed.
How did you tell which of these foods were processed or not?
I guess there's just a stigma among these specific kinds of food that, they're processed. So that's what led me to my choice.
Very interesting answer. Actually, you are correct. So all of these foods have been processed in some way or another. And in this case, the instant noodles, pizza, chips, cereal, and even these tinned vegetables all have added preservatives, sweeteners, or flavorings. So to put this into perspective, let's first tackle the other types of food products. Minimally processed and unprocessed foods usually refer to freshly harvested plant and animal products that have only undergone simple processing. This includes cooking, cutting, drying, freezing, or fermenting, which can all be done at home. Processed culinary ingredients usually refer to unprocessed or minimally processed foods that have undergone more intense processing than what is usually done at home. This includes pressing, refining, grinding, milling, and spray drying. These foods are meant to be added during the cooking process to improve the flavor of certain dishes. On the other hand, processed foods are described as foods created through preservation or fermentation methods. They usually only contain 2 to 3 ingredients, but usually have added salt, sugars, and oil. However, both processed culinary ingredients and processed foods may contain additives limited to those that help preserve the food, such as antimicrobials and antioxidants.
Okay, hello, what's your name?
I'm Kayan Idio. I'm under BSMIS.
What did you last eat today?
For me, it would have to be cup noodles.
Do you know if this food is processed or not?
Oh, it definitely is.
Okay, do you know why?
From my understanding, it's mostly for preservation and longevity purposes. A lot of processed foods tend to be stuff that's shelved, so in supermarkets and stuff like that. So as much as possible, you want these foods to last so long as they're on display.
So have you ever wondered why food additives are added to your favorite snacks or meals? Or how do they help keep food fresh and safe?
Hello, I am here with
Ryzen.
Riza. How do you make processed food processed?
To be honest, I don't know, but I think dapat mapagsama-sama mo yung laman niya, yung meat, and add some flavors or artificial element.
Actually, you are correct. So these additives come in the form of emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial flavorings, as you said. And the process that they undergo is sort of industrial. So that means that these foods, they go through something that normally isn't really done in home cooking. So thank you very much, Riza.
Let's go ahead and break down the deeper science and chemistry behind processed food and why additives play such a big role. Processed food like chips, instant noodles often contains additives. These are ingredients put into these food to make it last longer, taste better, or stay safe to eat. But here's the thing, additives are especially important in processed food because they help turn raw ingredients into the foods we're familiar with. Hi, today I'm with
Celine.
what course?
I'm in 1BS ME.
So Celine, what did you last eat today?
I just had a Nutella sandwich.
Do you know if it's processed or not?
Yes, it's super processed.
Yeah, that's correct. So, adding to that, do you know why is preserving food needed?
I think for one, it's good for emergencies. Like, you can always have something to eat even if it's not fresh. And also to extend the shelf life of food so it won't be wasted if you don't eat right away.
That's actually correct. Just adding to that, they prevent spoilage and make sure the food is safe and tasty when it reaches you. Starting with preservatives, these are additives that stop food from spoiling by preventing bacteria, mold, and yeast from growing. For example, sodium benzoate, commonly used in jams or sauces, keep them fresh and safe by stopping mold and yeast from developing. The chemistry here is all about blocking the growth of microbes. Preservatives work by creating conditions where microbes can't survive. Some lower the pH, making food more acidic and hostile to bacteria, while others, like salt or sugar, draw out moisture to survive. It's all about chemistry, preventing spoilage to keep food safe. Antioxidants such as vitamin C and E also help by stopping oxidation, the reaction with oxygen that breaks food down, like when an apple turns brown after being cut. These antioxidants neutralize harmful oxygen molecules, protecting freshness. Some preservatives, like citric acid, both enhance flavor and lower pH, making food safer to store, which is why you'll find them in everything from jams to canned vegetables. It's a natural, effective way to keep food safe. Now let's talk about how additives play a role in turning raw ingredients into processed food. When food is processed, it often goes through steps like heating, drying, or blending. Additives help with these processes, ensuring food stays stable and doesn't lose its texture, flavor, or color. For example, emulsifiers keep ingredients like oil and water from separating. Stabilizers help maintain the texture of foods like sauces and ice cream, while thickeners ensure soups and gravies have the right consistency.
While these processed foods can provide some nutrients such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals, these are often not sufficient enough and may contain ingredients that are a contributing factor to an unbalanced diet. It makes you wonder, are people aware of the risks associated with these processed foods?
So, we're here with...
I'm Kelly.
What's your course?
ABDS.
So, do you know if eating processed foods have health impacts?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's processed. Like, it's dangerous, right? Like,
Yeah.
eating too much of it is dangerous for you.
It is. Eating processed foods excessively is indeed dangerous as it is linked to several health issues. Did you know that research has shown a 10% increase in ultra-processed food consumption can lead to a 10% higher risk of heart diseases and, as mentioned, cardiovascular conditions, contributing to the rise of global heart-related health issues. Additionally, ultra-processed foods can disrupt the body's natural processes that regulate hunger and blood sugar levels, affecting metabolism as it leads to irregular eating behaviors. These foods may even cause exaggerated glycemic responses, further increasing the risk of metabolic diseases such as type 2 diabetes. Ultra-processed foods, which are more nutritionally unbalanced than minimally processed ones, may also cause irritation or allergic reactions for sensitive individuals. There are even certain chemicals in these processed foods that you need to look out for due to the health risks that they are associated with. Chemicals such as acrylamide and acrolein are linked to the development of cardiometabolic diseases. Acrylamide forms when food is cooked at high temperatures, and acrolein is produced when fats are heated, which are both usually related to preservation techniques. Both are toxic to the body, contributing to inflammation, cerebrovascular issues, and oxidative stress.
Whether it's instant noodles, frozen meals, or sugary drinks, one thing's for sure, we all consume processed food. But after learning about the health risks, I can't help but wonder, If they are unhealthy, why are they still being sold in stores? And how can we be sure that they are actually safe to eat? That's where food safety regulations come in. Meet the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization, two major global bodies that work together to assess the safety of food additives. They rely on a team of independent scientists called the GECFA who test additives through short and long-term studies to see how they affect the body. So when used within regulated limits, food additives are considered safe thanks to the strict testing and standard setting of these organizations. But of course, too much of anything, even something allowed, can be harmful. And let's face it, additives are everywhere. So instead of avoiding them completely, focus on eating a balanced diet, choosing whole or minimally processed foods when you can, and checking the label to know what's in your food. Now that you understand what goes into your food and how it's regulated, we hope you feel more empowered to make choices that nourish not just your cravings, but your long-term health as well.